Welcome to Zen Mystery TV. My name is Carlos.
And I'm Lena.
And we're going to be talking about the interesting things in the news regarding meditation, yoga, spirituality, and having a little conversation. Thank you for joining us. So, starting with Lena.
Alright, so in this week's news I found this really great article by Michael Taylor called "Is Your Yoga Working For You?" And what struck me as a good article, or why I wanted to highlight it this week, is because he goes through several questions for those of us who are practicing yoga for a long time or even just starting, because sometimes we get to that point where we're in a yoga practice where we kind of forget that we're actually doing each asana and breathing and so forth, and we just kind of push through the pain of maybe that pose we're doing, and we just say kind of like, oh, forget it, I'm just gonna keep doing this because, you know, I know it hurts and I'm just gonna keep going with it. Kind of like when you, let's say you're running or you're working out or something, you push through and you're really not in the present moment where with your body, where you're kind of, instead of pushing through, you just breathe, and you get to that point in that pose where you reach a certain point where it actually is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So he goes through a lot of questions there for you to kind of ask yourself, where are you in your practice? Are you one of these people that just pushes through, or are you actually there really doing your practice? So I think it's really great, and I wanted to highlight it for that reason, because like I said, some of us tend to forget that part of how yoga really should connect with our life, and we just push through instead of being in the moment with that pose and really connecting with what we're doing there and why we got there. So it's a really great article. We'll have the link to it in our notes so that everybody can read it and go through those questions and do a little sort of yoga tune-up.
Excellent, excellent. And along with that, I'm going to move into something that's kind of interesting, just in regards to meditation itself. There's been a lot of news, especially in the last couple of years, and results that are being gotten at a lot of these research labs across the country. One of them that's been actually making a lot of noise lately is actually Harvard University. And I have two things from them, which is very, very interesting. I'll start with the first one. It looks like Dr. Herbert Benson. He had gotten some notoriety for talking about the research that was going into meditation itself, or mindfulness meditation, and how it improved stress and a lot of that. Now those are through the 1970s, and that's like regular old school news. But actually what he found recently is something far more remarkable. Recent studies at Harvard Medical School suggest that there are actually 4 very noticeable changes in our genes through the use and the actual practice of mindfulness meditation, anywhere from 4 to 20 years. But people doing meditation for even 2 months, for about 10 minutes to 20 minutes a day, actually showed incredible improvement.
That's very interesting.
And what they went ahead and they found is specifically in the mitochondria, in the genes itself, which is essentially the motor that runs the molecules in the body. What they found was that folks who did meditation, who practiced meditation, had far more resilient mitochondria. So they pretty much showed evidence, actual physical evidence, for why it was that certain people that did meditation had improved energy, improved reactions to stress in the body, and also better sleep. So it's pretty fascinating.
3 very important things, just in general for
incredible.
us, yeah.
And actually very hard and fast. You can see the rest of those 3 changes through the genes, you know, on that link that we're going to have along with the story. And I think we'll move on to Lena's second story.
Yeah, so one of the things that I'm a bad advocate about is practicing yoga, not just at your studio or, you know, with friends or whatever, but always at home, even if you just have a few minutes. And I found this really great dynamic pigeon flow with ggYogini.com, and it's a quick 2-3 minute video that you could do at home and follow this really cool flow of yoga, whatever, and we'll have the video. I have it loaded up here, but we'll have the video on the link. And she goes through this very quick flow, and especially I like it because it's really great for men in specific, because they're very tight at the hips, and pigeon, as we all know, is a really great pose for that. So this is a very quick flow that you could do if you have 2 minutes, and you could actually just do it at work, even in your office, like just close your door at lunchtime in 2 minutes, and you're done, and you just did it, and you know, you'll feel great. So it's a really great video, and you know, I think is a good thing to highlight this week, because we're getting to that point where everybody's coming back from vacation, and we're all getting back to our classes and practicing again. So this is another quick way to, you know, sort of get back into your routine of meditating, practicing, and so forth. So.
Excellent, excellent. Along the subject of techniques, I found an excellent technique coming from the second of my stories from Harvard University Medical School, and actually it has to do with the publishing of the Harvard Medical School Guide to Tai Chi by Peter M. Wayne, PhD, and Mark L. First. It's a fascinating book, has a lot of great information on actual research that they've done recently into Tai Chi itself, which is of course interesting to me, particularly as a Tai Chi instructor, a meditation instructor. One of the techniques that it actually highlighted that I wanted to go ahead and talk about very briefly is something that extends to the rest of your practice, and actually may even extend to your yoga practice.
Absolutely.
One of the interesting things that it talked about hand Tai Chi. It's something you can actually do while you're at work, talking about things you can do at work. Yeah. Also talking about, just very quickly, if you're a writer or a person who's in front of the computer a lot and your hands start to get very tight. What you do is that you essentially just relax for a moment and observe your breath, and then start to focus on your hands. And the exercise involves feeling, after you observe your breath, and feeling the sensations in your hands as they open and close very gently. Try and unite and combine the actual opening and closing of your hands with your breath. So when you breathe in, you extend your hands. When you breathe out, you let your hands soften gently, and back and forth. Now what you want to try and really extend and open is a certain visualization, which is very peculiar, kind of interesting. I hadn't really worked on before. It has to do with imagining that the very centers of your palms, which is an actual acupuncture point, which is very, very important, is that you gently breathe in and feel that the very centers of your palms are like small suns. And when you breathe in, the light extends to the very tips of your fingers. And just experiment with that. You may experience several different sensations, as well as tingling, heat. Depending on who you are, it may be very different, but you'll definitely awaken some vital energy in the hands. Now the use of that and breathing into your body in your asanas or in your movements during Tai Chi are what begins the actual moving away from just technique and into actually moving prana or chi through the body. And I thought that was pretty fascinating. And we'll put a link to that book and the publishing of that book, and maybe a little photo in a moment, to the actual book itself, so you can start taking a look at that.
Yeah, I like that because there's a lot of people with, we're so used to texting, being on the computer, doing so much with our hands, and a lot of us have carpal tunnel, and you know, yoga is really great for that. But I like that, you know, Tai Chi now has found this hand
very interesting
meditation and movement that you can do. So yeah, awesome.
So you know, lead us now.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll have you, this weekly show once a week, and I think I just messed up, so we'll edit that.
Go again?
Yes, thank you for joining us, and we'll have news for you every week. Thank you for, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm not used to.
Why don't you close it out, Carlos?
Yeah,
we never said Zen Mystery Meditation Tea House. Why don't you close it up?
Yeah, you close it up.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for this short Zen Mystery TV session, information session.
Yes.
Thank you for.
We need to come up with
Yeah.
like something.
Let's go ahead and like just have something. Well, thank you for joining us for this Zen Mystery TV session, Meditation Center, Tea Center here. We also are looking forward to seeing your comments on the actual website and on the video, and let us know your thoughts, questions, curiosities, and we'll see if we can address them in the next coming weeks for the next couple of shows.
And you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, obviously. So, thank you.
Have a beautiful day.